Alright, so we are on the draw against the Power 9. And we have a really interactive hand, but we have no pressure. And we don't even have anything to copy that Phantasmal Image with. I mean, we could keep this hand based on Wasteland, Mental Misstep, Force of Wills, draw into some Merfolk. We have an island and a Cavern of Souls. I feel like this is a bad hand to keep, but I think I'm going to keep it. So we see an Underground Sea, Black Lotus, 3 blue, gonna go Defense Grid. I think we get rid of that with our... Man, I kind of feel like even going with the Phantasmal Image here, just because it looks like it's a Storm deck. So I'm going to try to Mental Misstep this, and then Wasteland their Underground Sea, and then just hope that they're kind of stuck on nothing for a little while we can draw into some Merfolk and have some land of our own. So I do have a Tundra. I actually wouldn't mind drawing like another Wasteland here, but Master's fine. Especially if we draw another blue card next turn, it can still keep Force of Will alive. So kind of drawing Merfolk on out the rest of the way would be nice. But when it rains, it pours, and we've seen a lot of land, and we'll maybe continue to draw more land. So I'm just kind of being a little aggressive here. Maybe I wanted to keep that Force of Will alive, but I want to get at least a little bit of pressure on the board. Man, I would love to draw some action. So at least not playing something here, maybe just makes them think twice about going for it. So I could copy the Master here. I think I'm going to keep this for the Force of Will, though. I'm going to play out some land just in case I have something. I get something like a Timewalk soon. And not kind of limited by how much mana I have on the board. So now I do feel like running out the Phantasmal Image. Is safe. Although I could have just held up mana to actually cast Force of Will. But I think I can maybe start doing that next turn. So if I draw another blue card, I think this is enough pressure for right now. Yeah, it looks like they might try storming off here. So if that's blue, paradoxical outcome. So maybe I got too greedy. Maybe I wanted to... hold on to the Master for 1 Force of Will and hold up mana to cast the other Force of Will. But now we have a 2-turn clock, so we'll see if they are able to do anything.
7 scientists at ExxonMobil, thinking, working. Listen, they're discovering the precise combination of 7 key ingredients and new.
So Hercule's Recall.
Helps you get better gas mileage. These science folks sure know how to party.
And that's just going to set them up for another storm if they do happen to draw something.
Energy lives here.
I think we can strip mine the Underground Sea pretty safely. And then just have them on this 2-turn clock. And hopefully they're just not able to storm off next turn. So let's see if they have another paradoxical outcome. They're going to get to draw 3 cards, but hopefully it's not enough to storm off. So they've got Tinker into what? A Memory Jar. So we didn't draw into any interaction except for this Mental Misstep, which is kind of a bummer. But, I mean, we have already seen 2 Force of Wills, so I don't think it's really reasonable to think we would have. So we've got 2 mana floating, 7 cards in hand. They're not just jamming a bunch of stuff out, they're actually having to think. So I think I'm a little bit optimistic. That means that, you know, they don't have an obvious line to the win. But, I mean, they have seen Mental Misstep and Forcible from my side too, so they might just be thinking about, you know, how they can go about it carefully. I think we have to Mental Misstep this. So if they drew Tendrils, we're just dead. So let's see if they tap for... Alright, so let's see if we can find our... Nope. So we've had some opportunities to find another Force of Will. Hey, TuxDev, how's it going? You been playing some Legacy Merfolk lately? I'm trying to represent in Vintage. Yeah, I like watching your stream. So I have Merfolk in Modern, and I have it in Legacy. I haven't spent a whole lot of time playing it. I play Merfolk and Burn in Modern, and so I tend to play Burn a lot in Legacy. And when I decided to start playing Vintage, I just started playing Merfolk because I saw that it was a deck and it was kind of like a style I was used to, and I felt like it has enough interaction that if I'm, you know, familiar with the matchup, I'm able to like kind of play an interactive game. But if I'm not that familiar because I'm so new to the format, then I'm able to just kind of go into this like proactive play creatures and just try to aggro them out. But so you got hated out of the fishes locally though, huh? Excellent. So it looks like they kind of fizzled out. We're definitely going to want to keep the Null Rods in. Dismember can come out. And so sometimes I kind of like to play... I've brought in Surgical Extraction or Stifle before. And Surgical Extraction is sort of like if I'm able to catch them on their first paradoxical outcome, then I'll try to extract the second one, like all the rest. But Stifle can sometimes, you know, hit their mana base, or like if they go like Lion's Eye Diamond or Memory Jar, can kind of hit that. I think I'm going to bring that in. And I think True-Name's a little bit slow. So I'm actually going to... It does make my Silvergills a little bit worse taking out those True-Names. So maybe I'll actually take out a Phantasmal Image, leave a True-Name in. Your opponent had a tendency to turn into a dragon, huh? Someone showed me a line and said, "This is what you did to me. Are you proud?" Nice. I think I'm okay with this. I could bring in Tormod's Crypt. They could, it does turn off Yawgmoth's Will. I think I kind of like that as like a panic button. I'll take out another image for that. It's kind of a, doesn't really work with my Null Rod, but it's sort of one of those things where if I land a Null Rod, then I'm probably winning anyway. So this is a terrible hand. I mean, it does get down a turn 1 True-Name. We could Wasteland and maybe Stifle something. They did Mulligan. I mean, we could try to ride this True-Name to victory. They could have the Force of Will. I just don't think we're hating on their artifacts enough here. I'm going to see if I can mulligan into something better. I like this a little bit better. We're going to be able to cast that Cursecatcher, which has been relevant against the Storm decks before. We do have another blue card to pitch to the Force of Will if we need to. We've got Wasteland to keep them off of their colored mana sources, hopefully. So throwing a Cage against Storm, that's true. Yeah, maybe that actually would have been better than the Tormod's Crypt. I think we're going to keep this hand. And I like having the other island to be able to cast that Lord. Maybe I want to dig for some more interaction, but I think with these Wastelands, I'd like to be able to use them. And to do that, I'm going to need some more land. Yeah, Tuxdev, I think maybe in retrospect, I would have liked to have the Grafdigger's Cage. Over that Tormod's Crypt. So we'll see if they fetch up a basic here. They did. That does make our Wasteland's a little worse, but you know, that's what they get for casting Gitaxian Probe. So I'm not super confident about this game, but we'll see. Yeah, I think I learned a lot. I think especially in Legacy, Merfolk is not, you know, it doesn't do anything unfair. It's kind of like in Vintage, where this deck doesn't really do anything too unfair, which basically means that you don't have a ton of margin for error, so a lot of decisions kind of become important because you don't just kind of, oops, I win. And I feel like Legacy Merfolk's kind of like that, where it's not like Reanimator or Storm or anything like that. You have to, you know, make good decisions, and I think watching somebody who's experienced with the deck has a lot of benefit. So they haven't seen this island. I'm going to keep the cards they haven't seen off to the right here. I think I'm okay with him time walking here. So there's a mentor. We're gonna have to force that. It unfortunately gets rid of our force, and it might get rid of our Cursecatcher if they have a force of their own. But then they'll be down to 1 card. So we're not drawing great here. Yeah, yep. That seems like a pretty good philosophy. I recently picked up some Wastelands and Chalices. I traded out of Ad Nauseam in Modern. Picked up a bunch of Chalices and Wastelands, and slowly working that Modern Merfolk deck into a Legacy Merfolk deck. I think the Force of Wills are really just the next big thing. But it's not a particularly cheap Legacy deck. Well, actually, I'm going to kind of take that back. It doesn't run any duels, so maybe that just doesn't make any sense. But with the Wastelands, playset of Chalice, playset of Cavern of Souls, I think there's still plenty of cards that can keep that, drive that price up. All right, so we've got a little bit of pressure here now. We'll see if it's enough. A little bit of interaction is fine. I should have ran out another Wasteland. They know about it. Sometimes I get used to kind of bluffing cards if I don't really need it. I could try to Mental Misstep this just to keep them off 1 more card. And then keep them guessing as to what other cards I have in my hand. They know about the 1 Wasteland. I don't think they know about the other one. But I think I'd rather catch like a Soul Ring or something. Oh yeah, not even thinking about Vials. Vials are expensive now. I bought mine off of TCG Player as I think mostly played. And one of them's pretty faded, but so I think I got mine for something like 30. Wow, Cavern's at 15. That that's pretty sweet. So the fact they're running out all these mana rocks right now tells me they've probably got some sort of storm going on. So Fragmentize, that's interesting. So why would they be destroying their Mox Pearl? They've got 8 cards in their graveyard. I mean, maybe they figure... Okay, so they're actually just building up their storm count. They're going to probably play... Yeah, so there's Mind's Desire. And I think they're just doing that to build up their storm count. So they're down to 5. They've got 1 card, but they have a bunch of... So we're not going to be able to do anything. So I'm just going to F6 now. And let's see what else. So they have Force of Will, Mox Opal. Let's see if that 1 card is a paradoxical outcome. It was not. So we've had a little bit of luck here. If we draw a Lord, that'll just be like the ultimate luck. I think I might as well just Wasteland that Flooded Strand right now. Alright, so they have one turn to try to go off. And we'll see if we got there. Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes sense. He'd get the extra storm count, and he'd still get the extra draw, and then another storm when he replayed the Mox Pearl, so that's right.